We are live. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. I'm Lawrence Winnerman. Ladies,
I'm
please
Great
introduce
Galaxie.
yourselves to the crowd.
Hi guys,
I'm
Great
Ayana.
Galaxie.
Great Galaxy volunteered. Well, I kind of coerced. She
There's
volunteered
no
to do the
coercion. I
prayer
would
to
do
kick us
anything for
off.
you. I would do anything for you. All right. So I just want to talk a little bit. It's just kind of like a little strawberry moon moment that we're having right now. So I
Hmm.
kind of want to invite that energy in. And I know it's something it's a little bit different for me than it is for Ayana. And I'm sure it'll be something different for you as well, Lawrence. But I just want to say welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. And as we enter the space today, I want everyone to feel comfortable and confident and prepared to open themselves up to the sweetness that life is offering us currently, and being prepared through the conversation to hear the harder parts about what we might be going through, and knowing that no matter what, as a community, we have each other. And as long as we're open and honest with each other, authentic with ourselves, and open to giving reciprocity for those and to those that give to us, we should be a better we should do better and be better coming into the next year. So I want to thank everybody for being here, and I want to open up the floor to us being open and authentic with each other.
Ahoma Takuyasin. Amen.
Yes.
So it is the full moon today,
Mm.
and it is on the Capricorn Cancer axis. I'm betting y'all have things to say about that.
You know.
Well, first of all, we are literally Capricorn and Cancer right here.
Oh,
I'm a Cancer sun and she's a Capricorn.
So we were laughing before this about how you had so fittingly chosen us to join you today
Yeah, we were
without
thinking
knowing.
it's like I don't believe in irony. I believe everything happens for a reason,
oh yeah.
obviously.
Absolutely.
But when I saw that, because I not only is it that Ayana and I are Cancer and Capricorn, but I'm a Cancer Sun Capricorn Moon. So this
Mm-hmm.
specific moon is incredibly heavy and incredibly opportunistic for me in the growth period. So I was
Mm.
really open to it. So when you said that, it kind of made me look at it in a different perspective. And Ayana and I really are the quintessential example of what best friends would look like as Capricorns and Cancers. So it's kind of perfect. I love it.
Oh my God, you just said that and it blew my. You are, like, even just looking at you right now on
Mhm.
screen, like,
Yeah,
I can see it.
yeah. Do you know what we are? We're the Owens sisters from Practical Magic.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
like how we consider ourselves, like, and definitely character wise, like we're both very similar to those characters. Obviously Nicole Kidman is who I lean more towards. I'm a little bit more wild, and Ayana is very grounded, incredibly grounded.
Well, it's funny because I didn't actually know about that movie and I hadn't watched it before she told me about it. And so when I saw it, I was like, what are the chances
Yeah, absolutely,
that we
absolutely.
so naturally are, these two distinct things, but it also makes sense because you need that counterbalance.
Mm.
And the magic fits so seamlessly together. So yeah, I love her.
Well, if you look at the
Fantastic.
if you look at the zodiac wheel, you see
Mhm.
that there's sister signs that are across the way from each other,
Right.
and that's what Cancer and Capricorn are, sister signs. And
Yeah.
so we're kind of experiencing like what we are experiencing right now. I'm just going to get straight into it. As a country, I'm going to talk to
Go.
you guys. I have some things I'd like to talk to you about the political side of the moon and what's going on. Ayana has some earthly information that she'd like to give you.
I
That's the
love it.
counterbalance, right? So
Yeah.
I believe that the country is experiencing a couple things at once. And I think, to give you an example of what this bittersweet moon is about, today the Supreme Court ruled, one, that we can absolutely count mail-in ballots as long as
Yeah.
they are received on or before the day of voting, which is a huge win for voting rights.
Yep.
And that's definitely Capricorn coming up and saying, hey, we need to talk about the logical side of these things. And then
Right. And the
on the
rules,
flip
right?
side,
Like you have rules, here are the
yeah,
rules. You're
and
gonna
here are the
follow
rules,
the
and you can't
rules.
go over the rules.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, they also ruled that he could fire somebody from the FTC, which goes against like years and years and years of precedence, because FTC has always been an individual entity from the government. That was the whole point of it being put together by Congress. And so you can see the bittersweet of it. And it's reflecting in that as well. And the bittersweet of a Cancer Capricorn relationship is that oftentimes Cancers can have a lot of love and empathy and family oriented togetherness. And oh, Ayana, we lost
Uh-oh.
her. She'll be back. And then a lot of Capricorns have a earthly grounding feeling to them. And that bittersweetness is kind of hard to swallow sometimes. And then on the flip side, you have your sovereign or you have your shadow side where Cancers can be a little smothery, a little sucralose, or a Cancer in the shadow form. Always reminds me of Elmira from the Looney Tunes. Do you remember
Oh
Elmira,
yeah.
where she would love them and hug them and squeeze them?
Oh my
Yeah,
God, yes.
yeah. And that's a Cancer living in their shadow form, and that's kind of what we're going through as a country right now, because they're using a lot of protection and family values as a
Yep.
way to do surveillance, as a way to do controlling physical our bodies. People who have the ability to have babies, they are controlling those who have uterus, and in that they're doing it all under the pretense of protecting the family, and
Right.
that's very resonant in the Cancer sun that we're feeling right now, and in the dichotomy of the strawberry moon as well.
Yeah. I just want to say I will of course add Ayana back as soon as she rejoins.
Of course.
Uh, and I mean, great. Isn't it kind of Cancer Capricorn is almost like classic mom dad kind
Mm,
of, right? Like Cancer is mother and
yes.
nurturing and home and hearth, and Capricorn is dad, but in a different way from Jupiter, right?
Yes.
Capricorn is a little bit like the stern father, like
Yeah. I mean, if you
Saturn.
look at the imagery of a Capricorn, it's a goatfish. So it has that watery feeling to it. The emotional capacity is there, but it is that stern horned creature.
Right.
And goatfish aren't real. You know what I mean? I want you to think about it like there's very few zodiac creatures that you look at that you see aren't real. I mean, Pisces fish are real.
Right.
You've got Taurus, bulls are real. You've
Right.
got Aries, it's
The
real. Those are real.
ram
Bulls are
is,
real. Exact ram, real. It's all real. But the
yeah.
goatfish is it's a mythical creature, and that kind of lends into that dad vibe. I don't think we've ever seen what the true divine masculine really looks like in the current society that we're living in, because the
Ooh.
patriarchy is very sinister, and
Mm.
it kind of makes us look at masculinity as kind of like a hard, must protect, must control. And so we have the goat, but we don't have the fish of it. And I think
Yeah.
true divine masculinity has a little bit of that watery, emotional feeling that Capricorn brings. So I think you're right on that. I do believe that the Cancer is that true Empress mother feeling. And
Right.
I always bring things back to tarot. So like my
I mean,
zodiac signs and my
and
tarot cards
please
all kind of
bring
run
it back to
together.
Empress anytime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love
The
it.
yes. Um, and I kind of think we saw that in the decisions, right? Like if you look at the split and the way that people were splitting off, it felt very sort of like the Supreme Court justices were kind of like mom and dad are fighting a little bit, and
Yes, absolutely.
you
I
know,
mean, I think it was it's almost feels as if the divine feminine okay, so in my article that I wrote about the death of conservative American politics and conservatism, and how we can watch it happen over the Aquarius and Pluto, like the next like 15-20 years, right?
yeah,
In that article I wrote that there's going to be a major shift and a major push against the divine feminine against female rights, or just people who present as female rights, basically anybody
Mm,
who presents as female in any way. And that is coming from a caged and cornered animal. That's what happens. You get an injured animal, they get in the corner and they start snapping. They become the most dangerous in that moment. And that's what we're experiencing right now. We're experiencing a cornered, caged animal. And I wrote an article today about how this strawberry moon specifically, this regime keeps saying, "Fuck around and find out." We
yeah.
hear that so much. They think they're so cool. Well, I would like to introduce the strawberry moon as the find out era for the regime itself. It's
Ooh,
setting it off.
I
Um,
like that.
yeah, and I think when we look at the strawberry moon, it's kind of like the opening games to the Cancer retrograde that's coming right now.
Well,
Today,
right. I was just going to say, speaking of, Mercury is station retrograde right now. So basically, for folks who don't understand, all of the planets, other than the sun and the moon, look like they go backwards in the sky from time to time from our point of view on the Earth. And it's a
hmm
little bit like a car passing you in the fast lane on the freeway where,
yeah,
like, they're coming up behind you and it looks really, really fast. And then there's a moment where they're right next to you and you're like, oh, we're going the same speed. And then suddenly they're like off ahead of you.
yeah,
We're at that moment right now where it looks like we're just right next to each other going the same speed. So Mercury looks like it's standing still. Like it
right.
slowed down, it came to a stop, and now we know it's about to go backwards, but it's just standing there
That is
at the
such a
moment.
beautiful explanation. 100%. I love that.
Yeah, so what does it mean to you, Gray, to, like, when you see Mercury go to station, you know that it's
Okay.
about to go retrograde. Like, how do you interpret that for
So
folks?
the way that I've always looked at retrogrades are like spirals. Some people live in a straight path and they have no retrogrades in their chart. And
Mm,
some people live a spiral path where they have multiple retrogrades in their chart. And oftentimes people,
like me.
yes, oftentimes people who have spiral will see somebody walking in a straight line while they're spiraling in the same place. And they'll start to wonder, why are so many people around me moving faster than I am? And it's because based on, in my opinion, based on the life you lived prior to the life you're living now, your retrogrades are set. And you have to spiral through the lessons to make sure that you've learned them properly.
Chat, she's literally giving me a reading right now. She has literally said this to me in my reading.
He's like, okay, so we're talking about this. And
Okay,
so,
so we're talking about me.
right. So I believe that when your retrograde happens, and I mean, Western astrology believes this to some degree, but I always have to add a little spice, a little something, a little salt on it.
Yeah,
Um, I believe that you move it inward. And so when we have Mercury, which talks about the way that information is delivered, right? Or we talk about like technology, like I got a new car and I signed a lease when Mercury was in retrograde. And then for the rest of your lease, that car runs like shit. And it's because you chose to make a deal during retrograde.
yeah,
It's one of those types of things, like never sign a contract during retrograde, never start anything new during retrograde. You always want to go back in to what you've been working on. You want to look back in at what you are currently trying to activate. So it's a great time for self-reflection. Interesting, Cancer is home. It's the kitchen table. It's groceries. It's your mother, your father, your auntie, your family, right? It's
yeah,
protection, but it's also sometimes that smothery feeling. So right now, the country is stationing Mercury backwards to look in at itself, and it's re-evaluating, what does family mean? Who gets to stay in the country? Who gets to eat in the country?
oh
Who
my
gets the
God,
water in the
yes.
country? And it's all showing through court systems, AI data centers, low employment rates, cutting Medicaid, cutting Medi-Cal, all under the guise of making more money for the military. All of this is coming to a head right now. And this
Yeah.
next retrograde is going to be incredibly informative to what I believe a collective conscious awakening that's coming very soon, if we're not already in the middle of it.
I just want to pause for a moment and say, and let the chat catch up and know, we are trying to get Ayana back on the chat. Ayana, if you're out there, if you can hear us, you can join from your phone. I just sent you an email with the link in it again. So um, obviously, we would love to have you back.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
miss you, bestie. Come back to
right.
me. Hey,
I,
Mercury
I
retrograde. This is what I'm talking about. We
literally,
are experiencing it right
you were
now.
saying it, and I was like, technology challenges like this one.
Like this one over here. Absolutely.
I just like to think that the power of you and Ayana together, Cancer Capricorn best friendy pair on the Capricorn full moon. Yeah, this is what's going on, folks. You're seeing
It's
it
happening.
live and in
You're
action. The
feeling it.
power. There's not enough power in this chat
I
to be able
love
to
it.
hold
I love
both.
it.
Um, so what I was going to do is I was going to ask you and Ayana to introduce each other. So I want to make sure she gets like full props, even if she can't rejoin
Can I
us.
talk about her?
Although,
Can I talk about her?
please
Oh
tell
my
us
God,
about your
yes.
bestie.
This is my favorite topic. I would love to. Okay, so I met Ayana on TikTok like 5 years ago. We have never actually been in the same room. We've been best friends from afar.
I just want to pause and say I found you on TikTok at that time. I remember seeing you, and I was like, this diva is everything. I need to know her someday.
I'm
She is
so glad we
fierce
do know each
AF.
other. I love that. I love that. So yeah, this is like me and Ayana. We're like the sun and the moon, always spinning, always dancing, never actually hanging out in the same room. But she is a 700-hour yoga master.
Wow.
She has a degree in soil science and a green thumb like I've never seen. She can just say garden, and there's a garden. I've never we planted our seeds at the same time, and mine are not doing as well as hers are.
I was going to
Uh,
describe her as an earth witch, but I was like, oh, I don't know if that's how she identifies.
kitchen
Kitchen witch. Okay.
Kitchen witch, yes, and that's what I was gonna say. She has a Patreon, and on her Patreon, she has a level called Kitchen Witchery, where she creates spell food, like whole spells of like pies and fried foods, delicious stuff, all earthly, all grown by hand or sourced ethically. And she teaches you how to be a kitchen witch. And she also does these. I don't know if you guys are, if you're not subscribed to her, I would very much suggest you do that. She just hit 11,000 subscribers here
Yes.
on Substack, and she got her check mark because she's amazing.
Amazing.
And she does these crow pools where she communes with, she's very, very close with her crows, and she communes with her crow tarot, and the crow tarot give us like the week ahead, what we should look for, what we should work on, what our spirits need help with. She's fantastic. She's quite possibly the most grounded, hardworking, talented individual I've ever met. And one more thing, I'm bragging about my best friend. I love it.
Brag.
She writes about the Wheel of the Year. So she was in a really heavily religious, I guess, cult is what she'd call it, growing up. And she taught herself how to cook, and she gave herself ways of getting through it by deprogramming the religion itself. And so now that she's fully deprogrammed religion, she is helping other people do it by taking back the history and better understanding the culture around Beltane, and better understanding the culture around Ostara. She's done all of them, and you can get every single one of those books on her Patreon, I believe.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
she's amazing.
Okay, she's almost back. Her
I
little
bragged about.
square popped up. It says device is not connected yet, Ayana, if you can hear me, which
She's
usually
going to
means
be
you
so
gotta
embarrassed about how much I bragged about her right now.
turn on your camera and your microphone, maybe. Yes, it says you need to connect your mic cam before I can add you to the stream. Um, Yeah, I'm so happy to hear you describe her that way. By the way, guys, if you're joining us, if you're not familiar with any of the three of us, there should be a big orange subscribe button in the upper left-hand corner. If you're not subscribed to Gray or Ayana or me, please click that button because we would all
Please.
appreciate your subscription. And I guarantee you that these are two of the coolest people on Substack.
Oh,
Um, I had to take like a propanolol so that I could be calm enough to actually do this live with you guys.
I smoked a
Because
fat bowl.
a night, yeah, honestly, like if Okay, can I tell you something while we're waiting for Ayana to
Yes.
connect? I was in Chicago a couple weeks ago, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And where it's legal, and I went to the store and I was like, I want a gummy, I'm going to a dance party, I want like a body high, I want this.
Yes.
And so she sold me two different things, right? One of them was gummies, and oh my gosh, she's here, she's here!
Can
Woohoo!
you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hi, Bestie.
Oh my gosh.
No, you're doing
I
great.
almost cried. I don't know how to do this stuff, and
I'm
my
so
computer
proud of
just
you.
shut
I'm so
down.
proud. I'm
You
so
are
proud.
amazing. And
Thank
Ayana,
you.
Gray just introduced you because I was going to ask you two to introduce each
I
other.
bragged about you for like
And she
5 minutes.
bragged
Oh,
so hard on you. So hopefully your ears were buzzing in the best possible way.
thank you. She is the biggest hype woman anyone could ask for.
So I was telling a story about weed, which is basically I bought some gummies in Chicago and they ended up absolutely kicking my ass. And
Hmm.
if they didn't kick my ass, I would be on one right now. Um, but Ayana, you're back. Could you introduce Gray to the crowd for us?
She is literally, I always say this, she's the Cancer to my Capricorn. She's the one who balances me out. She gets me out of my box because she's all about the sky and the politics and bringing it all together in such a like creative and ingenuitive sort of way. I have never heard somebody talk about either topic the way that she does. And it's funny because like we didn't actually do all of this kind of stuff before like we knew each other from TikTok and kind of journeyed over here. She went first and then I joined because she basically forced me
Grab.
to do it. She was
As
like,
best he
you better
should.
get over here. But she made it really easy for me. She's like, this is all the things you need to know. And I was like, okay, fine, we'll try it. But she's always been just the most magical, creative person I know. She's always coming up with very interesting approaches to different things, and her mind is fascinating. And I mean, look at her; she's literally just this like magnanimous creature that you're just drawn to.
Thank you, darling. You're so
And
sweet.
I mean, she has so many things going for her right now. But on Substack, she's growing her publication, and I really hope that you guys do go follow her because she gives so much to
Oh,
everyone,
thank
and
you,
she has a Patreon too. So if
Yeah.
you want to get more specialized in your tarot reading and things like that, go check it out
Can
because
I
she's
Thank
also
you.
testify for a
masterful in
moment?
that.
Am
Yeah,
I allowed to have a little testimony here?
absolutely.
Yes.
Go
So,
for it.
okay. So, one, I signed up for Gray's classes on Patreon because Gray has invented a whole new school of astrology where she looks at the decans, right? Where, you say decan. Um, she looks at so each astrological sign has three decans. So, each sign is 30 degrees, and so 10, 10,
Hmm.
and 10. And like it works, y'all. Like seriously, I've learned enough now and and played with my own chart and other things enough that I'm like, oh my God, Gray, you are like you're a prophet. You have
Oh,
seen a thing that other people did not see and you have brought it into this world. The
thank
other thing
you.
I'm gonna say is I had Gray do a past life reading for me. I know I sound like a freaking infomercial right now, like, and when you sign up for Gray Galaxie's past life readings, you'll get Ginsu kitchen knives and like I'm not even going to tell you how many pages this report is because one, you won't believe me, and two, I can't believe I can't like it was so above and beyond. I learned things about myself that the instant I read them, I was like, oh yeah, well obviously that's true. Oh well, that's true as well. Oh, so is
Like
this.
it's like a knowing. I love that.
Hmm.
It is a knowing. And there's a ceremony that Gray created for me in the reading that I'm doing tonight, right as the moon goes full after
It's gonna be
we
so
do
good.
this live.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
so
I'm so excited.
hopefully you can tell. Like, normally I think people see me in my politics and, here's what I think about things. I am absolutely woo, and I do not give a fuck if anybody judges for that. Like, I honestly don't care because I
Yeah.
believe in a quantum multiverse in which every little thing is possible, and so why the fuck not? Could I not believe that we live in a
Well, and
universe? Yeah, go.
scientists recently just discovered that the or they believe that there is a theory that the intuitive feelings that you're having are actually feelings from the future. So
Yes.
I always say that, like, you know, that feeling when you're walking down a street that you've walked down a million times. You go to and from the store. It's dark. You're not scared because you do it all the time. And then one day you think, you know what? I really just don't. I don't think I should do this. And then, you know, the next day you find out that somebody was hit by a car, or there's somebody who's up to no good in the street. I genuinely believe that there are, scientifically, and I've said this, I'll keep saying this, I've been saying it for years, science is magic and magic is science, and you can't tell me otherwise because I don't fucking believe you. Okay, they're
Yep.
the same thing. I truly believe that the world, the way that we experience life, is a quantum field in which a million different possibilities are available and happening all at once. And the point of what we're doing is to find the highest version of ourselves, the best version of ourselves, the one that sits comfortably in reciprocity, the one that understands sovereignty, the one that respects human will and free thinking, the highest version of ourselves. That's what it's all about, is finding that quantum, the singular quantum version of ourselves, and collapsing them all into one.
Mm.
That's what we're working on. And so people can call us woo woo if they like. That's fine. But magic is science and science is magic, and I don't believe in you can't tell me otherwise.
Absolutely. And I got to
Yeah.
say, I am fully waiting for the news article that I know that I'm going to read at some point where someone's like, "Oh, we've discovered that the human brain is actually a quantum computer that's entangled with dark matter and that's where consciousness comes from." Like, I'm sure that I'm going to read that article in my lifetime and be like, I know.
Duh.
I've been saying
Well,
that the whole time.
I mean, we live in a 15-dimensional time matrix, and like if you think about that alone, and that's pretty limited because that's just this time matrix. Like yeah, the level of understanding that we have is so limited. And like as far as science being magic, absolutely it is, but magic is way more than science because science
Absolutely.
is only like available because of whomever is going to fund the studies,
Right.
and so without funding, there
Speak
is
on
no
it.
study. Yep. And so, like, it's always going to be behind. And of
Yeah.
course, the things that we're probably most interested in are unlikely to be funded because
Oh, sure.
what is the profit going to be from them? They're empowering people, so they're not going to be able to profit off of us, and of course, they don't want that to come forward. But yeah, my background's actually in science, and so it's really interesting to be at this point because I see a lot of value in it, but I also see even more value, let's say, in all of this stuff that we're really digging into now. And uh and it's kind of funny, the whole you know being okay with the woo woo and everything like that, because it's literally like this beautiful conduit from like religious upbringing, super conservative, to like witchy, queer, neurodivergent. Like we're all on the same road, and it's like we all kind of group together. And I think it's probably because we all contain this special kind of magic, this higher, I guess, activation that we just came in with.
Hmm.
And that's why we're all drawn together, and we're all being pulled out of that and towards something else, because it's our time. We're in the heroic probability, and as Gray was saying, everything's kind of coming into this moment. And this is the time before everything is kind of like going to move forth from here, from this planet. Yeah, so a little bit on metaphysics. I also love metaphysics,
Metaphysics,
so
let's go. We love
Right.
metaphysics.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, just side note, guys, it is the strawberry moon. It is the dichotomy of the Cancer Capricorn, hard and soft, water and earth, making mud, kind of moving through it. And they turned CERN off today. They turned CERN off today.
Interesting.
And if you guys don't know what CERN is, it is the, let me, it's long, what is it? Let me,
Large
I want to read
Hadron
it.
Collider.
Large
Hmm.
Hadron
Yep.
Collider shutting down for a major upgrade cycle. So the last time I wrote an article, I think it was last year, about how the same month that Trump came down the golden escalator, a weasel got stuck in CERN and it caused the machine to blow up and it put a bunch of energy out. And in my humble opinion, we got a weasel by a weasel. Personally, I believe that weasel like made our timeline a little loopy. And they're turning it off because not because they think maybe we shouldn't be running this. No, because they're gonna upgrade it.
Hmm.
Because they're gonna make it bigger. So I just
Hmm.
want you guys to look into CERN. They turned that off today. I I can't say this enough. I've been saying this, and I know that the listeners, this might not be for everybody because of the woo of it all, but I truly, truly believe that the government uses, they have astrologers. They absolutely have
Oh,
professional
absolutely.
star
Yeah.
watchers on the map. If you look at when they time votes, if you look at when they
Hmm.
time recesses, if you look at when they have your midterms. I mean, I'm doing the astrology of the midterms right now.
Yeah.
And it's all planned on purpose. There is definitely some woo in the offices of
Well,
DC.
one of my favorite quotes of all time, and our amazing moderator Karen Marie Shelton is here, and she's putting tons of
Thank
links in the
you,
chat.
Karen.
Thank you,
Yes,
Karen.
thank
We love
you.
you, Karen.
Yes, we love
We
you.
do.
And she knows one of my favorite quotes of all time is the J.P. Morgan quote, like the actual guy, J.P. Morgan, when he was alive. He said, the difference between millionaires and billionaires is billionaires use astrology. Like, he
100%.
literally said that.
100%.
And, like, he knew that there are cycles, things are cyclical, there's the timing behind things. And I believe that we can use the solar system, the universe, as a map for the possibilities, the opportunities, the challenges. Like, Gray, I think you say this too, that, somebody's birth chart isn't like, it isn't a curse, right? Or it isn't like a
Oh,
golden ticket. It
no.
is a map of your possibilities, your opportunities, and the places where maybe you have some challenges and have to work harder,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
everything after that is free will of like, are you going to use it or not?
Well, and I've said this before, and Donald Trump's sun is within 5 degrees of his Uranus, and anytime that somebody has a sun within 5 degrees of their Uranus, it's literally a sign to any astrologer who's been doing it for very long, that person is here to disrupt things, disrupt the physical world, and
Mm,
that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That can
right.
Hmm.
absolutely be a fantastic thing. Um, he just happens to be doing it in the everything he touches turns to shit kind of way, rather than him, changing things. I mean, he's the reverse FDR, right? I mean, he's doing exactly the opposite of what that presidency did for us.
Yeah.
But hey, here's the deal. And I'm gonna give the mic to Ayana in a second because I really want to hear her take on the strawberry moon. But just a little hope core for anybody in the chat. Um, regimes don't act this way when they have it all together. They don't. The way that they are moving right now is smash and grab. This is not a regime that's going to be here to stay, has any plans on staying. They are absolutely on their way out. And if you look at
Yeah,
the
get it all
billionaires,
now. Yeah.
yeah, if you look at the billionaires that have funded Project 2025, most of them have left the country.
Yep.
Hmm.
We are, or died because they were just old. So what's happening right now is smash and grab. At the very end of what we're experiencing with this regime, I truly believe we're going to have a scar that's going to take the entire cycle of Pluto and Aquarius to heal. But the democratic socialists are coming. They're coming. and
Yep.
and they feel it in the air, and that's why they're snapping at us so much. And so that's just how I feel about it. That's a little hope core for you guys out there. But I was wondering, Ayana, what is your take on the strawberry moon?
So I actually have an article that I put out, I believe it was yesterday that it came out, and it's all about the fact that the strawberry moon is actually named after this time of year because at least in the Americas, that's when the wild strawberries are ripe. And if anyone knows about strawberries and picking strawberries, especially the good ones that aren't meant to be shelf stable, like the wild ones, like the ones in Oregon where I'm from, they go bad so fast.
Yeah.
And so you really have to pick them in that moment and enjoy them then. And so my article is really about just that idea of how we tend to want to postpone partaking of that sweetness and how like sad it can be because we miss out on so much because we try to preserve it or hold on to it for too long and it goes bad or it completely transforms. I mean, you can freeze strawberries, you can change them into something else, but is it going to be the same as picking off the vine, when it's warmed from the sun and perfectly ripe? No, of course not. So just remembering that right now in this moment, even though we're in that heavy Capricorn energy, to stop and kind of pause on your long climb up the mountain and look back down and see the beauty of how far you've come so far and offer yourself a lot of love and grace and a moment to rest and enjoy that
Right.
sweetness, um, and to really honor yourself for the things that you've been working toward, because we can't constantly climb. Even though like that's in my nature to want to do that with 7 placements in Capricorn, you have to
Seven.
stop.
Wow.
7. When I
Seven.
saw your chart, I heard like violins and like a gospel choir singing. It was so
Hmm.
funny. Okay, sorry.
But I mean, it's just true. We tend to want to just go, go, go and build, but we cannot continue to build from an empty cup. We have to stop and refuel ourselves, with the beauty of what is now. And so that's kind of a little bit about specifically the strawberry moon. But interestingly, two of its other names are honeymoon or mead moon. And
Hmm.
so, like for where a lot of my ancestors are from, over in Ireland, Scotland, and stuff, that's the time when they are harvesting honey to start making mead. And so it's just another nod toward, you know, agriculture, the earth, that everything is so connected to that. And these moons are named after that or for that.
Right.
Um, and interestingly, like the calendar month in Ireland, Scotland, and all of that, at least with the ancient Celts, was very specifically tied to the full moon as the first day of the month. But new moons weren't recognized because they weren't very distinctive in the sky. And
Right.
so they would go only by the full moon and then, watch the progression from there. But it
Oh,
was really
wow.
about that. So this
That's
is
really cool.
significant. Yeah.
That is so cool. I heard a story once about the strawberry moon that it was in part so that the people could harvest longer, right? So that you had this
Mm-hmm.
beautiful bright full
Under the
moon,
moon.
and
Yeah.
you could find the ripe strawberries under the light of the full moon,
I would just
and
Hmm.
eat
that
them.
was
Yeah.
right. No,
Well, I
exactly.
mean,
Like I
that's what you
assume
Eat
do.
them as I go.
That
it's
is
like
what you do.
kids, we're staying up all night, we're eating strawberries. Yay!
Strawberries.
Yep.
Hits
Yep.
out magic under the moon. Just hits out eating strawberries. Sounds
That's
Oh my
the
amazing.
real
God. Yeah, that
rave.
sounds amazing.
Sky
Yeah.
clad. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of the things that came up for me, kind of thinking about Cancer and Capricorn, that axis was, um, what are you building right now, and who's holding you while you're building it?
Mm,
Right?
I
Capricorn,
love
the
that.
builder
yeah.
building, and Cancer, the
Holding
nurturer,
you.
who's holding you while you're doing it.
Yes. Hmm.
Yes.
So, what about you, Gray? What are you building right now?
So I'm actually building. I was just talking to Ayana about this. Giving from a place where my cup is filled first. I think it's
Yes.
really important. I'm very very authentic, very transparent. What I'm going through daily, my readers know about, and I think it's
Yeah.
important. And that's something that's really strikes me as important in connecting to my viewers is being as authentic as possible. And so many of the people who follow me understand I'm very open about mental health issues. I'm very open about my personal chronic illness issues that I have and what I'm going through with my family. And I find that through this ability to build and grow this community, I've found um, the ability to give myself grace more and more because
Mm,
I have a Gemini Chiron, the wound of needing to be heard and understood. Um, Finding a community in which I can tell them what I'm going through and have them say, "You are not alone," is something that I've
mm,
been building for a year. And it's actually starting to help me worship myself in a way that I
mm,
haven't before. And I think this strawberry moon is a fresh start for me where I'm going to start filling my cup first and I'm going to start giving from a place of overflow because I think uh, uh, too often my Capricorn moon
Mm.
pops in and wants to give, take care of, handle, promise. And then my Cancer sun comes in and she's just emotionally exhausted. So for the moment currently, building a community that helps me give myself more grace by just
Mm.
communicating. Yeah.
You know what I love about that answer is it's kind of both in one. It's like what you're building and who's holding you, right? Like you're
Yes.
Yes.
literally building the piece to hold you so that you
Yes.
Yes.
can build more.
That's so, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, absolutely.
And I'm gonna be your daddy, holding you up and making
You can
sure
be my
you
daddy.
stay on
You
track
can be my
and
daddy.
give you as the Capricorn daddy of the chart, but
Yeah.
yes.
What
Well,
about
we I'm always trying to give Gray a little bit more like, wait a second, how are you taking care of yourself?
Absolutely.
We gotta lean into that a little bit more because you deserve it and you will collapse if you don't. So
I know because like the other day, like last week or something, you were like, oh, my back is completely, and I got to go to the hospital, but I'm gonna do these charts, and I was like, girl,
I
mm-hmm,
put the
know, I
mm-hmm.
charts
know.
down,
Yep.
put the
I know.
charts down.
And
Step
it's
away
difficult
from
for me
the charts.
if I don't do at least one report a day, I beat myself up. Like I beat myself up. And the thing is that I think that comes from a place of that daddy workhorse Capricorn energy, right?
Hmm.
And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're in a place right now where, with the economy, where I mean, basically, what I'm doing, what you're doing, this is gig work. You know
Right,
what I mean?
hundred
We're
percent.
getting up every day, and we
Mm-hmm.
are opening our souls on the internet and saying, please view this and find value in it,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's monetarily or with your eyeballs or with your soul or however you need your with my love language is a restack. I'm not gonna lie, I love a
Right.
good restack, I love a good quote.
Yeah.
And so I think right now is a really good time for us to remember, look back at what you've built, and like Ayana says, look down the mountain, eat the berries, and be really proud of what you've done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's so true. Like we're all building and working, and that like this is, at some point someone's gonna figure out that I've got an OnlyFans, and they're gonna be like, "Why? Why would you do that?" I'm gonna be like, "Sweetie, it was the Trump economy. Are you
Are you
kidding
kidding
me?"
me? I'm thinking about opening an OnlyFans. I was thinking about opening an OnlyFans where men can request for me to tell them how much I love them. Because
That is a brilliant
because
idea.
I'm telling you, I will tell you this. I will speak sweetly to you. Is what I'll
Yes.
do. And I read an article. Speaking of the male loneliness epidemic, I was reading an article about how many men are asking girls on OnlyFans not for sexual things, but for communication. And
Right.
there's something in that breaks my heart so much because this patriarchy is so sinister. I've had this conversation with both of you before, I believe, but the patriarchy is incredibly sinister because it creates absolutely no space for men to have feelings about anything.
Yes.
That
So
is
we
right.
Yep.
have these men who are homophobic because they are closeted gay men. And we
Right.
have these
Mm-hmm.
men because they've been told that what they're feeling is not natural.
Right.
And so that abuse turns back around on the inner family circle. And if men had spaces where they felt comfortable, these types of things wouldn't be happening. However, because historically men have had their neck on the foot of women, it's difficult to talk women into making these spaces for men to have the conversations. It's very sinister.
Yeah. I
Absolutely.
think a lot of people know that absolutely adore another Substacker here, Fusen Aiden,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
who is in
Sex work is
Amsterdam.
real work,
Yeah.
baby.
And Fusen is a sex worker, and she writes very openly about her work. And she has,
Beautiful. It's profound.
oh my
Mm-hmm. It
God, her
is.
some of the best writing around. And I don't think I'm not telling tales here. Like I'm quoting from things she has published, where she's written about men who have come to her and basically said, "I just want to be held,"
I just want to
right?
be
Or
held.
"I
Yep.
just want to talk."
Yep.
And like you are saying, Gray, like men are so starved for genuine affection that
Mm.
they will pay for the girlfriend experience
Yes.
and pay more for the girlfriend experience. And absolutely, I think all men, not just straight men, but I think even queer men are starved for. And I will say one of the great blessings of my life is being gay and being able to form intimate relationships with men and being able to define those in whatever way I want to define
Mm.
Oh,
them.
exactly.
And and that is a huge blessing, and it has given me a lot of peace and sanity that I will tell you, like when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s and I was on the verge of offing myself, like I was miserably
Yeah.
unhappy because I wasn't allowed to just be who I was, you
Yeah.
Yep.
know
It's
yeah.
terrifying. Well, I mean,
Ayana, I want to hear. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Gray.
I was going to say, Ayana, I mean, you've celebrated your queerness in the last several years coming out.
Yeah, it was around when I turned 30. I was just like, I'm going to tell everybody in my
Nice.
family. Like, and honestly, I just sent out a group text and there was a lot of angry people. A lot
I
of
loved it.
people who said that I, destroyed their life because I sent the text message to them. And I mean, it was the only way I could fathom doing it because there are so many of them. But also, like, most of these people I do not have close relationships with. So, like, do I want to call them and have them tell me all the ways that God thinks I'm terrible? Or,
Right.
well, I just, because for me, it was about living in authenticity. So
I
it
love
wasn't
that.
about having them affirm me or anything like that. It was just, I want to be completely authentic. So if you fall away and you're not in my life, like, I know why, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
I
I
didn't
don't
mean
need
to
you to
laugh,
tell
Ayana,
me I'm
except
okay.
that people literally told you that you ruined their life because you sent them a
Yes.
text message.
To this
Yeah.
day.
Well,
Yes.
there are some dramatic people in my family.
Like I said, guys, she
And,
deprogrammed up from a religious cult. She is
Yes.
yes.
a
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
fantastic, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever want to know about programming, you have questions. She's written so many articles about it, and I'm sure if you asked her more questions, it would just inspire her to write more articles about it
For
because
sure.
she is her perspective is so profound because of the level of indoctrination that she lived through. Watching someone like Ayana, who is so cerebral and grounded and also magical, uh, now knowing that she came from that, it's night and day. It's
Mm,
night and day. So I'm very proud of you, friend. I think if anybody's
Thank
interested in or has
you.
any questions, they should definitely be asking Ayana what she did and how she did it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Again, let me say for any recent joiners, please subscribe to these two amazing people. Please, please. And, me too. That would be great.
Yeah,
But,
of
Yeah,
like,
course.
do
seriously,
it.
Ayana and Gray are incredible. If your Substack experience does not include reading them, it absolutely should. Ayana, I'm curious what your answer to the what are you building and who is holding you while you do it question is.
I am working on, honestly, this year, obviously building my professional stuff, but also just building some really positive, healthy habits and internal talk with myself because I have gone through a lot of cycles with my health, which I don't share as openly about as Gray does, but we both connect strongly with being a
Very strong.
part of the chronic ill community,
Right.
and there is nothing more disappointing than not being able to have control of your body. And especially when your head is like completely on track and willing to push, and do all of the things, and you can't get your body to do it. It's heartbreaking. So I'm working on
Yeah.
pacing myself
Mm,
and continuing to go back at it even when it's not fun and it does hurt, but not doing too much like my Capricorn brain wants me to do. But just doing something and having it be enough and being kind to myself through that. And so I'm also trying to encourage Gray to do that with me. So we can lift ourselves out of the ruts that we've been in
Yes.
and be the strongest versions of ourselves going into this next year. Because yeah, this I want to be at 36. I want to be as strong as I've ever been. And every year I feel like that's my goal, but it's not going to change until it is, and then
yeah.
it'll go up from there. But
Absolutely.
I have a beautiful support system online with this community, and like being able to be in community with both of you guys has been absolutely fantastic. I love you both so dearly. You're beautiful souls, and also happy Pride for like the last little bit of this
Ah,
month.
Yeah.
all of us are
Um,
super gay and queer. I love
I
it.
know, I know.
I'm so gay,
I don't
you
know how we
guys.
ended
Like,
up with the people we were with, but we did.
I think girls
And
are
I
pretty.
mean, yeah, I do too. Oh,
I love it. Oh, I wanted to say too that I started a second publication because
yes.
I struggle with separating the stars and the politics from the rest of my life. And Ayana said, maybe you should show people that there's more to you than just politics and stars. And
mm,
so I started something called Gray's Galaxie. And it's free. Obviously, you guys can subscribe. It will forever be just $20 a year, or free. I love either way. But it's where I talk about just my life. Like I think I did one called "The Capitalism Didn't Work because it doesn't have a belly badge," and it's about how we were lied to when we watched Care Bears as kids. It's just whatever's
Right.
on my mind or in my brain at the time when I need to get it out. So if you guys are interested in getting to know me a little bit better beyond the stars and politics, give me a follow there as well.
I love it. I absolutely love that. Um, we've only got like 8 minutes left, which kind of breaks my heart.
how did that happen?
I think part of what we're learning here is that, I mean, I for one would like to do this again, and
Yes.
I think we should.
Absolutely.
I
I
think we
like to
should.
spend not the first half not like
Right. For
connected.
example, precisely.
You did.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you. You did so good.
You
I'm so
did.
proud of myself. I was about ready to give up, and I was like, okay, we can
I,
do
I
this.
I
Breathe.
saw your messages, and I was like, "Don't give up. Please don't
Don't
give
give
up.
up.
We are
Don't give up.
here. We
I
are
just kept
here."
talking. I was like, she'll be back. I know she will.
Yeah,
She knows what she's
I knew
doing.
it too, but I also was like, I'm gonna send some messages just to make sure she knows she can come back.
My internet was like cutting out too. It was like a whole thing, but we made it. We're
Yeah,
here.
we figured it out. Uh, oh God, I had like a closing thing that I was gonna ask you both about, and I'm completely blanking on it right now.
Oh,
Um,
Did you guys ever see
wah.
the Lemurian quartz? Just gonna throw this out there. I don't know
ooh,
if
are
you've
we
ever
Ooh.
seen
doing
it. Okay.
crystal show and
Yeah.
tell
Okay.
right
Hold
now?
on. Real
Okay,
quick.
because
So.
we totally could
Okay.
do crystal show and tell.
I have a
Yes.
few right
Yes. Your
here.
windows are beautiful. Love it. Yes. Ooh,
Ooh.
gorgeous.
Lithium
So
quartz.
Lemurian quartz can only be found in two places in the world: Brazil, in a cave in
Hmm.
Brazil, and then there's Arkansas Lemurian quartz. There's a cave in Arkansas. The difference between quartz and regular and Lemurian quartz is I'm not sure if you can see, but there are probably not
Oh,
striations. There they are. The
yeah.
Oh yeah.
striations are on the side of your Lemurian quartz. They say that these were left behind with messages from
Oh great.
our ancestors. So it's one of my favorites.
I love it. I love it.
Beautiful.
Um, I tell us a predict like let's make predictions. What's going to happen in the
Oh,
next
I
one?
got
What do you
you.
think?
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
I
A
mean,
couple predictions. You guys need to watch the news for the next, I would say, 40 days. A lot of information about the Trump family is going to be coming out. Deep, deep Trump family secrets, specifically around Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. I believe there will also be some more stuff brought up from Donald Trump's past. I think Epstein files are going to blow up real big, real quick. Um, a couple other predictions. I think that there are 6 or 8, I'm not sure which one, Republicans that were ousted by Trump in this last primary election that are
hmm
currently holding office in both Congress, in the House and the Senate.
yeah.
Those Republicans are going to blow up so much for the Republican Party. They are going to be voting consistently against what they're doing. At this point, my prediction is I don't see Trump existing in the state that he's in beyond the year. And that's what I'll say. If you guys have a chance
So
to read my
that's so
article, The
interesting,
Crone
Gray.
from the Last House.
I keep hearing July 19th.
The Crone from the Last House, you guys should read that
Oh, wouldn't
article.
that be lovely?
I did a purely fictional, absolutely fictional, definitely not at all completely based off of medical astrology, definitely on Donald Trump. Yeah, it's purely fictional, absolutely not real. You guys should definitely go check that out. And I'm writing one about Elon Musk right now as well. So and there's going to be way more about him as well coming up pretty quick here. So
Nice, nice. Hannah, what do you think?
honestly haven't really thought that much about it. So I'm not as much of a predictor. I'm more of like, what can we anchor right now in this moment
Tell us.
instead of
Yeah.
getting too far ahead. And so like we're past this summer, peak. This solar peak has happened. We're heading toward darkness. And so I think it's just remembering to cherish the light that we have right now. And really stepping into like the things that we've already started to build, like not necessarily trying to start a whole bunch of new projects, but just like keep growing what you can, and harvest, and like I said, stop on your climb and being willing to look back and see how beautiful the journey has been thus far, and find gratitude for the things you do have right now. Gratitude is one of the most powerful things, and
Mm.
hope in the midst of all of this stuff going on politically in our country and elsewhere. We have to remember the power of hope. It is such
Mm.
potent magic. Just one
Laughter is
person with a
unlocking.
little bit of hope is contagious. And
Yes.
so, like this live, I hope it gives everyone in the audience hope that something better
Yeah.
is coming. And the more we anchor that frequency, the more we hold on to it, the more it becomes our reality. It's not worthless. And just like the weasel that went and destroyed the
Done.
The Large
machine,
Hadron Collider,
right?
yeah.
That was one weasel. So let's be the weasel. Like we can be
Be
the hope,
the weasel.
Be the
That's
right?
my
We
weasel.
can be
thing,
the
baby.
hope. We can
Be
be the
the
blow up. What
weasel.
what was it? They were like in blow up costumes in Portland. I'm trying to remember what the character
The
Oh,
was.
the
frog.
frog. Yeah.
The frog.
Yes, the frog. I was like singing in my mind. But anyways, the frog. Like be the frog. Be that anomaly that just like makes everyone question, like, wait a second, this isn't as dark as it was.
Do you guys see
Hmm.
the dichotomy of our friendship? Do you see how I'm up in the sky and she just pulls me back down, and then I reach
Hmm.
down and pull her back up? This was such a perfect live for
I
the of
Oh,
what's
I loved
yep.
that. I was like, yeah,
I
Ayana,
love you
prediction.
guys.
And she was like, no, I don't do predictions. No.
Nope,
I'm going to center you
grounding,
and bring you back to the ground.
grounding.
I'll tell you
Right.
a little
Exactly.
bit with the
Come on, little
cards, like in the
dreamer.
next week, but I'm not
Yeah.
really a like, let's look into the future far
Oh,
ahead.
see, I got a 6
I
month
do a
prediction
little bit
for
of astrology readings. I can't say I won't do it at all. I do offer an astrology reading that's cosmic weather, like personalized for you, but not as far as like the collective or politically. So I leave that to you guys.
got
You
you.
guys are experts at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
My prediction for the coming month is I I think this is the month that the AI bubble bursts.
Pops. Purr. Purr.
Yep.
Mm.
Purr.
And I think it's going to be a big deal, like capital BIG big deal,
Mm.
because SpaceX did its IPO,
Did its
and
IPO.
then
Mhm.
Yep.
people saw the actual numbers in the books
Mhm.
and realized that there's not a lot of there.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
There really was, though.
OpenAI and Anthropic are supposed to IPO in the next month.
Oh, and they're already struggling right now. As
Yep.
of right now, OpenAI is
Mm.
struggling to clear anything. Like they're
Yep.
Mm.
already, you can tell a company is struggling when they're doing deep price cuts. I was just talking to my husband about this. So,
Mhm.
Yep.
yep.
Yeah. So
I
I think people know that I'm like standing in the weird contradiction of AI. Like I'm using it
mhm.
for a website that I'm building, and
Everyone's using
also, right, everyone's using
it's
it.
in
Yeah.
everything.
I mean,
Put it
if
in
you're
everything.
using this live stream right now, it's using AI. If
Yeah.
you're
Right.
using
Like
Yeah.
any platform, it's using
I,
AI.
I wrote
So,
an article recently about this, right? And they
mhm.
asked people, they asked average American, like, how often do you think you use AI? And 67% of people said, oh, I don't use AI ever. And then
Mhm.
Mhm.
they asked people, like, well, what kinds of things do you do online? And they asked them, 99% of
They're using
Americans use
AI.
AI.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't
Because they
know
put
that
it
you
into
are, but
everything.
it is baked into everything.
It's
Yeah.
baked into absolutely everything, and they did that on purpose.
Yep.
The reason they wanted everyone to feel as if they could not do their jobs without AI,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
so that they could then either raise the price or tell us why we needed more data centers or for whatever
Mhm.
reason. The bottom line is this, okay? AI is here, whether people like it or not. It is what it is. What we need to do is create an AI Bill of Rights. We need
Yep.
to, personally, in my opinion, we need to nationalize the AI. It needs to be something that is for the people, by the people, and it needs to be AI that is built and run and trained off of ethically sourced material, ethically
Yes.
sourced authors,
Mhm.
ethically sourced writers, ethically sourced filmmakers. It needs to be an AI that was built by people. There needs to be, like I said, an AI Bill of Rights, and there needs to be an Internet Bill of Rights. And until those
Right.
things
Mhm.
happen, we are not safe, and we must push for those things
Right.
every
And
time we talk to somebody who has any power.
Yeah.
I would add to
Well, and
that
if
and say a privacy bill of rights, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I should
Mhm.
own my own genome. I should own my
Speaking
Yeah.
of,
face. I should
speaking
own my
of
Yes.
voice
privacy,
print.
her
Well, in
husband
other
is
countries
fighting
you
that fight.
can.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not without with beyond our reach. But also like if your data is being sold, you should be paid for it.
Right.
And the amount of data that is being sold of ours, like time and time and time again, I just kind of wonder if anyone's run the numbers of like how much we would be compensated individually for that.
Had you been paid for it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I absolutely agree. I think there, like, if we're not going to nationalize AI, then I think there needs to be some kind of like sovereign wealth fund
Mm.
that gets paid every time they do, every time a token is spent doing an
Hmm.
AI calculation, we get a fraction of a cent or whatever from
I
that,
agree.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
because it was
Even if
trained
that
on
money
us.
goes towards social safety nets or however
Yeah.
they want to do. I mean, the amount of money that they're making and using towards the military right now is absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, I know we're going over a little bit, but I think they weren't supposed to. I think it was April. He did a live from the White House where he said, we can't afford health care, we can't afford child care because we're at war. And
Right.
it's like
Well, there's an easy solution to that.
he's literally creating the campaigns against Republicans with every
Exactly.
voice,
Hmm.
clip that he puts out. I don't know. Also, I think I was just telling Ayana this in 2016. They started the Freedom 250 or the 250 America. They were
Yeah.
going to do like the festival of festivals, and then he came
Hmm.
in and subjugated it, cut off their permits, and called it Freedom 250. And now $126 million that was supposed to go to a fair is somehow being spent on paper buildings, and there's nowhere to sit, and
Right.
there's
And
it's
have you
empty.
seen
Like,
the live video feeds?
so
Literally no
embarrassing.
one is there.
Incredibly
No
embarrassing.
Hmm.
one.
Right, they're saying tens of people showed up. So I mean, I'm just confused where the money went, right? And this is what it comes down to. We are living through the most corrupt regime possible. But I've said this before. I said this in 2016. I said it again when he was elected. Donald Trump is a floodlight over the cheesecloth that is American politics right now. And we can
Yep.
see absolutely every single hole. And we may not like the way he did it. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But what he did do was what we've been trying to do peacefully and calmly for years. He disrupted the entire system. He pulled the curtain back. We can see the wizard. We know exactly what they're doing. And then one more point. I'm not saying anything against Barack Obama other than he deported more people than any other Democratic president out there, but he did it with a smile. And so oftentimes we forget that there are nefarious things happening in our country because it was built on the backs of Black and brown people. So
Yep.
it's never been a free country, and it won't be until we take it back, and now is our time. That's what I have
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah. I think that's exactly right. Fully co-sign. And I think Obama, I think he got scared, right? Like, I think he got in on this promise, right? And this hope. And then people started whispering in his ear, and they were like, "Oh, no, no, you can't forgive people's mortgages because that'll, collapse." Right? No, he should have
Yeah,
gone big. He should have
yeah,
done that. He
He
should
should
not
have
100%.
have
been like
forgiven the banks.
Donnie, where he's just like, "Oh, you think we can't do that? Well,
A
we're gonna
president
do
has a
it,
bully
and here
stick.
you go."
Yeah, a
Yeah,
president has a bully stick. That's the
yeah.
whole point of a president is you have a bully stick and you use it. You use it when you need to use it. And like I said, he did a lot of really beautiful things for the country. I'm definitely not pooping all over the Barack Obama. It was a beautiful thing. First time we had a Black president. I loved it. Please do not get me wrong. But when we talk about deportations, we need to look at the facts, the figures, and the numbers and understand that this country has been doing nefarious things with a Colgate smile for so long, and now we're finally seeing it for what it is, and it's our time to take it back.
Right. I think you're right, and I think you wrote this, Gray, that like there's a karma thing with Trump where like he came back, like he got reelected
Yep.
for a reason
Uh-huh.
because we were not karmically done with him
Nope.
because his
Obviously.
job was to show us the full fucking corrupt
Oh,
rottenness of
yeah.
everything,
Absolutely.
and we didn't get it the first time, you know?
Nope. Nope. And I when I tell you that I don't believe blue wave is the right word. I believe blue flood, blue tsunami. And when I say that, I'm not saying that to make people who wouldn't normally get up and go vote like be like, "Oh, it's going to be so many people, I'm not going to worry about it." No. The way we get the blue flood is you grab two friends and you say, "Let's go." And you make it
Yep,
happen.
yep,
It's his poll numbers are terrible. The people, we can see it. Like when I said the collective consciousness is right there, I believe it. I believe we're right there. And so it's
yep.
important that people subscribe to you, Lawrence, because I know that you're fighting the good fight. You guys, one of my favorite things was, um, oh, I don't know, months ago when you guys broke the golden statue first.
Yeah,
Like that, I was like, this is what independent media is all about, and this is
yep.
why we need it, because you didn't see anybody in the main news story talking about that, the very first golden calf that we saw. So I just think it's really important, guys. If you aren't already subscribed to Lawrence, I need you guys to go ahead and get on that. I'm very
Hmm.
confused as to why not.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Gray. I mean, I wrote an article recently called This Is Not a Recession, It's Worse. It has gotten so much traction, and it is a lot of the stuff that we've talked about here. It is how the economy is being artificially propped up by data
Yep.
center build out
Yep.
expansion.
Yep.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And when that bubble pops, and when we start to see the real cost of the Iran war,
The real cost,
the real
absolutely.
Hmm.
cost of the fertilizer, the nitrogen, the
Hmm.
phosphorus, all the plastic, like this stuff that comes through the Strait of Hormuz, which is
Petrochemicals, absolutely. Yep.
not
Hmm.
open, by the way. Uh, things the
No.
prices are going to continue to go up, and I think the AI bubble burst, and that like I seriously, and I think Karen studies with Merriman. I don't know if y'all know who Merriman the astrologer is. Like he's
Yeah.
the famous like cycles financial astrologer guy. Like it's coming. Like it is coming.
Hmm.
In July. Like
Right.
it's
Like
yes.
fourth turning is here, my friends.
Yes. And I, I,
Yeah.
I, I would like to end on just like a hopeful note in that the way that we get through this is mutual aid. So
Yes.
making sure that your elderly neighbors have the things they need, making sure that your black and brown neighbors are not being messed with or are not being, having ICE or whoever called on them, making sure that we're reaching out. Like currently right now, I'm building a box for the women's shelter.
Yep.
Anytime that you can donate anything, I
Hmm.
just think now is the time for us to be building as much community and mutual aid as possible.
I love that,
Yeah.
Gray. I think that's exactly right.
Even just like knowing your neighbors' names is a
Yep.
great place to start,
Getting their
because I feel
number.
like so
Yeah.
many of us are in our own little boxes and worlds. We might wave to somebody, but like we don't actually know anyone around
Yeah.
us. And this, honestly, living where I am now is the most I've ever connected with my neighbors. And I know all of the neighbors who are around me. And luckily, I have great neighbors. I'm really grateful. But like just knowing that you have somebody that you can be like, hey, did you hear that thing, or did you see that thing? And if then you have each other's backs to some
Yep.
degree, right?
Yep.
And our neighbors next door actually was like, hey, this past winter, I was like, hey, do you want to make a little like food pantry, because like we didn't have like a structure or anything. And the only one that there like is in the area is at a church, and is like tiny and it's always empty.
Mm.
And so we were like, hey, maybe we could do this together. And so we just put a whole bunch of stuff in a Rubbermaid, a big one, and put a little sign on it, and just like took turns, refilling it and stuff, and checking in with each other, and figuring out which things were going quickly and which weren't. And just like little things like that, you don't know how much it could impact somebody.
It's
And
amazing.
maybe kids in your community were able to eat a couple meals that week because you were willing to put out a few things that were maybe extra, or
Yep.
you had a little surplus, in your budget that you could spend on a few
Exactly.
inexpensive items.
Yeah.
um
It's
it
so
makes a
great.
big difference.
I know we're over, and thank you everyone for being here. Ayana, where can people find you?
So Substack. and Patreon. And TikTok, I am over there. I haven't been posting as frequently, but Patreon is more of like where I teach a lot of kitchen witchery. So if you're really into that, I share like recipe videos and full like rituals and recipes and insights into the season
It's
over
yummy.
there.
It's so yummy.
So if that's your jam, like go check Patreon out. And then Substack, of course, I have a whole bunch of different kinds of articles I share here. So yeah, I mean, it could be astrology, it could be personal. So it just depends. But yeah, that's kind of where I am right now,
Awesome.
and a little
And
bit on YouTube, but not really.
tell folks, like, is there like a teeny tiny ritual folks can do at the new moon at just before 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight?
Yeah, so the full moon, there's actually a few different fun things you could do. So you could either, if you have absolutely nothing and no desire to do anything, you can go outside and look up at the moon and just speak some gratitude for something that has come to fruition that you've grown this month. And just sit there and feel that energy in your solar plexus and just take it all in, and that's enough. That's a ritual in and of itself. That's a spell that you're casting to create more of that abundance in your life. You can also, if you're really more ambitious and you want to create a bonfire outside,
Mm,
something that uh, the like ancient Celts and stuff would do is they would actually like pick up weeds and things that were like problems in their landscape, and they'd throw it in the fire and burn it, and
mm.
then they'd use that ash to feed their crops. So it was a beautiful turning over of energy, releasing what you don't want and
I
bringing
love
in
your
what you do
brain.
want.
I love it.
I love your brain so
um,
much.
but I mean, you can also light a candle and just, have a little ritual with a cup of tea, and just enjoy looking at the moon and thinking about, what you want to do in this coming month, you know. So it doesn't have to be big. It could be a great, festive event, or it could be very small. So whatever amount of energy you have, yeah, feel free to do what works for you. It doesn't need to be something specific for it to count and matter, because magic is very personal, and it
Yeah,
should be.
I
I
love
agree.
that.
I agree.
Gray, what about you? Tell us your links and your places, and then if you've got a little full moon
I do.
ritual.
I have a ritual I'm going to do this evening. I was actually in a post about it too, so I'll share it with you guys right now. So right now you guys can find me at Cosmic Chaos. That's where I'm doing all of my astrology, political stuff, and then I also do every morning at 5:55 a.m. between Mondays and Saturdays. I drop something called the Daily Divination. It's where I break down the sky, and that part is free. So even if you're not a paid subscriber, if you are subscribed, you'll get the daily divination. You'll be able to read the first part, which tells you about the sky. Then if you're interested in doing the daily divination, I give you guys a tarot pool, and I tell you exactly what astrological coordinates the tarot pool is tied to. I give you guys oracle guidance. I give you an affirmation, and then I give you journal prompts, as well as tiny rituals that you can do in the morning, in the evening, and then over the next week. And I do that, like I said, every day, Monday through Saturday at 5:55 a.m. on Cosmic Chaos. And then also you can find me on Gray's Galaxie here on Substack, and that's where I'm just talking about silly past life, fun stuff, whatever comes up in my mind. And then I'm also teaching the living sovereign decan system, which is my astrological way of looking at the sky. It's a little bit more forensic, and that's available on Patreon right now. And then as far as like the ritual goes, my favorite
Oh
thing to
my
do
God,
with
Broom just joined. Hi, Broom.
Hi Broom,
Hi,
I
Brew.
love you.
We all love you.
We all love you very much. We were talking about you earlier. I like to take water. Today, I would specifically take water and put honey in it. And then I would whisper to the water because I believe that water is alive. It just doesn't remember. And so you have
Mm.
to tell it what you want. You have to speak to the water. And I would speak my gratitude for the sweet things in life. And then I would leave that water in the windowsill under the moon. And in the morning, before the sun comes up, I would get up and drink the water and imbibe the spell that I put into it. And that's just my simple moon water spell. I do that for everything. But I'm going to add the honey because Ayana told me about the honeymoon. So now, of course, I'm going to add honey. And then also, I work very closely with Hecate, the goddess Hecate, and honey is a big offering for her. So I'll be using that as well.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm Lawrence Winnerman. You can find me at lwinner.substack.com. I also co-host the Daily Whatever Show with Dana Dubois, although we're taking a summer break and we're only doing Fridays.
Love Dana.
Um, Love to
Yes.
Dana. Big
Love
love to
Dana.
Dana. I'm the COO at Blue Ant Media, and I also publish some of my articles there. So all of my AI and the economy articles are being published on Blue Amp. And tonight at 6 p.m., so like 45 minutes from now, I'm going to read my latest personal article, which is called the Yobitsugi Plan. It is a
It's
peace
beautiful.
plan for Israel and
Yeah.
Palestine. And I know that
I
it
will
is
cry.
hope-based. I know
Hmm.
that it is, people would call it unrealistic, but I need hope. I
Oh
think we
no,
all need hope.
Hmm.
I love,
Hmm.
yes.
It's
All
a
the
beautiful
babies need hope.
article. Definitely
Th-
read it.
Thank you, Ayana.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be reading that tonight. So I'll try to take time and answer questions afterwards. It's something that I really believe in, and I want to get the word out there that there is hope. Clearly, people
Hmm.
need to go away, like Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump
Absolutely.
and a whole bunch of other people. But for me, it's personally important that we at least have a glimmer of hope for what the future could look
I
like.
agree.
And so
Hmm.
that is the magic that I'm trying to, the spells I'm trying to cast is showing a possible future that has hope in
Hmm.
it.
I
Hmm.
love that. I love that. That's so beautiful. I
Thank
just
you.
think that
It
there are
is.
so many people. Just want to add a little something. There's a big difference between the people who are attacking the people of Palestine and the Jewish community. I don't put those two together. I don't believe that they are one and the
Hmm.
same. And I
That's great.
believe that the every single Jewish individual I've ever met has been nothing but a beautiful individual. And I want to throw that out there. I believe that there's hope. I believe that there's peace. And I believe that we need to remove the thorns in the foot of both of the people in order for there to be peace.
Yep.
Also,
Hmm.
I want to be like Dana. So do you think that she would like this?
Oh my God. Yeah. Dana would go crazy
Should I
for
just show
those.
up and be like, Dana, listen, we're twins
It's
now.
seriously, honestly, like something's happening in my brain, like a redhead in like black kind of cat's eye like glasses. I seriously feel like what just happened?
I'm gonna take a picture and change my profile picture and be like, I'm Dana.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. This has
Love
been
it.
so much fun, you two. Thank you so much. I feel so lucky to be able to be friends with the two of you
I same
and
way.
to share
So that way too.
moments like this. So I'd love it if we could do it again. And I just
Let's
gratitude,
do
just
it.
pure gratitude.
Gratitude. I love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Love you
much.
both. Love you, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna click the button to end the
Bye,
stream.
Lawrence.